Tyler JJ on IGN, on our podcast article, asked, do any of you guys, Miranda and company, read any horror manga? Nope.
I don't like the horror genre. I'm a big scaredy cat, so no.
Do you? I also have to confess that I'm the biggest wussy on this planet. I mean, it's like, in general, it's like Megan, like, I can't do any horror.
Same.
Even suspense is really difficult for me. So that'll be interesting to tell you guys about how I reacted to one of the Cowboy Bebop episodes.
I had a
wussy.
hard time like playing through Last of Us because it had like such great tension, like whenever you're on
yeah,
love that.
That's a
like,
great
no,
game.
Like I didn't want to play it.
Game.
I was happy that I played it, but I didn't want to. I was like,
Clickers, no.
but like as far as like as horror as I've gotten, I think I replied to the comment directly. I watched like Higurashi When They Cry, which is also a visual novel that I'm about to start. I mean, it's more of like a suspense sort of murder mystery thing that does get a little jumpy at certain points. But I don't think I could handle reading a horror manga.
Oh, I love horror.
Okay.
My favorite is The Enigma of Amigata Fault, which is a Junji Ito thing. He does a lot of he's a horror manga writer, artist. And The Enigma of Amigata Fault is about like an earthquake or something happens, and like part of the ground shifts and all these like human-shaped holes are exposed, and everyone is drawn to the hole that fits them, and everyone's like,
This is already crazy.
oh, it's so creepy. I love it so much. And then there's that it's not really manga, but I forget what it's called, but there's like this Korean like animated comic thing that's like famous, and I forget what it's called, but if you just look up like Korean horror animation comic, you should find it, and it's super creepy, and I couldn't finish it. So yeah, but I really like horror stuff. I'm a fan. So Junji, if you aren't familiar with Junji Ito, I would recommend that if that's something you're into. Obviously nobody here, but listeners at home, if you're into that, I would look him up.
I can say I've seen action movies, like
I mean,
from
action's
Japan, but I mean, like they're horror, but they're like live action is what I guess I'm trying to say.
Oh, like
So that can-
Japanese The Ring. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
I haven't
Or, like,
seen
The
it. I saw-
Grudge?
You ever
Oh,
seen
it's so
Jisatsu
creepy.
Circle? Oh, that is weird.
I think I started watching like part of The Grudge, and then I just tapped out.
I had to like take breaks. I watched it alone on Halloween.
Oh no.
I watched
No.
I watched it by myself, and I had to like take breaks, and like I turned all the lights on in my apartment. I just walked around. I was like, all right, gotta check the shower. Okay, we're good. Like it was so. But oh my gosh.
Oh god.
You're made of tough stuff.
Yeah.
I've made a huge mistake. That's what that
No.
was.
So if the zombie apocalypse happens, you're gonna be our scout.
Oh, I love zombie stuff. Can I be? I would love to lead the charge.
Yeah. So you'll be our scout. Because you're not gonna be afraid to go into that bathroom and see what's in the stalls.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be afraid, but I'll do it. You know.
And then you'll have backup. Because once the thing is for me is like it's the suspense part that's the worst, like in games, right? But once it starts happening, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this. Let's go.
Yeah. Just a quick tangent. When I went to E3 in 2013, and that's when Outlast was on display.
Right.
I apparently was really entertaining to watch because I was just screaming at the at the booth, like just being like, "Oh my god!" So, yeah, I think I react kind of. I like it because of that reaction. It's fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Junji Ito is definitely not like screamy scary. It's more like it messes with your mind. Like it's really creepy. And so that's cool too.
Miranda's like, no.
I actually kind of like psychological thrillers, but I don't know why, because I always get nightmares. Like every time, I'm like, why am I watching this, or why am I reading this?
I'm just gonna go join the baby club. But Elena,
We'll keep each other company.
I want to ask you. You were scared of this week's Cowboy Bebop. Let's transition into the anime watch party.
Yes.
On that note.
Good segue.
Yeah, I want to talk about it because it's interesting, but I also like that it scared you. So this week for the anime watch party, we watched episode 11, Toys in the Attic, and episode 12, Jupiter Jazz Part 1. And our first listener comment for episode 11 was Nino Del Toro says, who else feels like watching the first two Alien movies after Cowboy Bebop episode 11? I'm down if you are. I'm not down, but
I'm
I
down.
love aliens.
I almost cried
Callie's
during
girl.
during Aliens. almost cried, so I had to watch it for a film class. I was like, no.
Okay,
I hate everything.
I need to establish my wussiness. Granted, I was like tiny, but the first time I was ever shown E.T., I freaked out and I just was like this the whole time. I had my hands over my eyes the whole time. I couldn't handle it. And that's how I knew. I don't do suspense. I do nothing that looks weird, nothing I'm not familiar with. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm so emotional that I could not finish E.T. because I was sad about E.T.
See, that's the appropriate response, not the holy crap, what's happening?
I'm just like overly emotional. I was like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I like got mad at my dad for making me watch it. It was the whole thing.
Well,
that's why I love shoujo, though. I'm like, shoujo's all feelings.
So I just want to establish as my baseline to explain how come I had the reaction I did to episode 11.
Okay. So tell us. So episode 11, I thought was super. It's just so fun. Like, it's just like one of the weird, like, one-off. Like, let's have a tour of the bebop when it's at its creepiest kind of thing.
Well, as an episode, I didn't think it was particularly strong in terms like the story's left really unfinished, like nothing's really fully explained.
It's kind of like fun.
But it has amazing camera work.
Amazing
camera work, a great like audio to go with the scenes. It's just really masterful in terms of like how it's produced. Animation's great. And so because of that, when the first scene opens and you just have that kind of reddish viewpoint of this unknown creature, really, and it's like going through the tunnels or like the ducts of the ship, and you have this kind of music, and I was like, so scared. I actually had to stop it like 3 times in that intro because I really don't like suspense. I'm telling you, I am the biggest freaking wuss on the planet. It's so embarrassing. I don't know why I'm confessing this to everybody either.
You're amongst friends. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed. It's
I just hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's just such a cautionary tale. Elena, don't let it happen to you. Did you finish the episode?
Oh yeah, I did. Because I mean, those scenes didn't last forever. But that's what I mean. That I felt like in some ways this was kind of disjointed because it's never really explained what that thing is.
I think they kind of did. I mean, it was his leftover food. It was Spike's leftover food. He left it in the fridge. It was a lobster thing.
Yeah.
And it morphed into something weird, and the entire fridge was contaminated, and it was so bad that Spike had to shoot it back out in space.